Sunrise Mountain, welcome to this beautiful space, and you all just sound absolutely incredible in here. How about one more round of applause for these students? And they are under the direction of Miss Tanya Bamey, so thank you so much, Tanya, for having your students out here with us this morning. Best way to start the day with all of you. Well, before we proceed, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Laura Doyle, senior art student here at the Smart Center.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Laura. Another thank you to you, Ms. Bamey. I know your students need to get back to class, so we'll send you on back across the parking lot there to the main building. Thank you so much. And as they exit, can we also give a very big round of applause to our incredible jazz band that was playing this morning when you walked in? Just all kinds of wonderful sounds to fill the space this morning, and you'll get to hear a little bit more from them here after our program this morning. Well, I'm Danielle Airy, and I am the district's Chief Communications Officer. It's my pleasure to once again welcome you here this morning on this little bit of a soggy morning that we have to start things off, but I hear it's good luck if it rains on your ribbon cutting day, kind of like good luck if it rains on your wedding day, right? We're going to hope so. That's what we're going to go with this morning. Well, it really is just such an exciting morning, and you know, it's been a long journey to get here, but like all good things, very much worth the wait. We have a number of special guests who have also joined us this morning. I'm going to take a moment to recognize each and every one of them, and I typically begin with the elected officials that we have in the room that have joined us, but today I think I'm going to begin with our true guests of honor. Those are the students that are using this space. So to all of our students, all of you, and I wish I could go around and get you all by name, but you can see they're all just crowded around in here, and having them get to be here and to be a part of this truly incredible moment, it warms my heart to have you all here, so thank you. And then of course, we are so pleased to have our three teachers that are here joining us. I'm sure you're all huddled. I see one of them, Miss Katie Haas, who is here. Also, Mr. Frank Eager. I saw Mr. Eager. I believe we have Mr. Matus Vishneski. Is he here? I saw him crowded in as well, up at the top. Just like the photography teacher to have the space with the best view from the top up there, right? That is so fitting. Well, I know we have a number of other special guests that are here with us this morning. We have Jennifer Stein representing the mayor's office and the city manager's office. Thank you for being here, Mrs. Stein. We are also so pleased to have City of Peoria Councilmember John Edwards here with us. Thank you for being here. Also, City of Peoria Councilmember Vicki Hunt has also joined us this morning. Peoria Unified Governing Board President, Mr. David Sandoval. Our Governing Board Clerk, Mrs. Corey Underhill. Governing Board Member, Mrs. Monica Ceja Martinez is here. And our two other Governing Board members, Ms. Doan and Mrs. Pingarelli, they were unable to be here, but they do certainly send their regards today. Our superintendent has joined us. You'll get to hear from her in a little bit, Mrs. Linda Pallas Thompson. Our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Jason Reynolds. And our district leadership team, I think I saw almost all of them here with us. If you all would please stand so that we can recognize you as well, our district leaders. Thank you for being here. And I'd like like to call out in particular Mr. Sean Duguid, of course, who had inherited this project but led it to completion this year. So thank you, Mr. Duguid. We have a few more honored guests that I want to take a moment to recognize. They are forever part of our Peoria Unified family, so we are just so pleased to have former governing board members with us. Ms. Julia Smock, Mrs. Kathy Connect, and our former superintendent, Dr. Denton Santorelli. I want to note, I believe I also saw Mrs. Mary Lynn McCord come in, and of course, she's sitting right here in the front, wife of former governing board member, Mr. Joe McCord. And I believe it's just so fitting that she could join us this morning. I know many of us remember fondly Mr. McCord, and he used to not only serve on our board, but also come and teach in this space where he was known affectionately as Professor Joe. And so it's wonderful to have you here, Mrs. McCord. Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, I know many of the guests, when you signed in to join us for this event, you shared such fond memories of this space and what it was, and we're just so looking forward to this next chapter and what it has truly become. I believe there are just many that remember, of course, the Challenger Space Shuttle and that fateful day when it broke apart in the midst of its flight, killing all 7 of those crew members that were on board. This building opened in 1996 and became really a hub of the community here in North Peoria, serving as both a museum and an activity center, really all centered around human flight. And you can see much of that here still today that we have preserved and to become really a work of art that will continue on into the future. Of course, the piece all around you by internationally acclaimed NASA artist Robert McCall, and I know there are even many in the room that remember this installation going in and remember that fondly. It's really fitting that we're surrounded by this piece of art and that we're transitioning from what it was as a center of flight into what it is now going to become, and kind of this new mission and this next frontier that this space will have as a place of art and innovation. So we're just so pleased that you could all be here with us today. Before we proceed any further in our program, it's my honor to welcome up our governing board president, who I know shares some remarks from you on behalf of the board. Please welcome President David Sandoval.
Thank you. Good morning. If I could, please, can I get one more round of applause for these wonderful students, teachers, and staff, and admin that are here? Thank you for that. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today, as we honor the past and celebrate the future. The Peoria Unified School District is steadfast in its commitment to ensuring a thriving community and a society of great character. This is realized through nurturing the creativity of our youth, promoting innovation and fostering learning and work environments that are inspiring, safe, and supportive. The development of the PUSD Smart Center is a testament to this very intentional mindset and the district's commitment to student success through the arts. I would like to thank those who came before us that brought this original building to life, especially fellow board member, Mrs. Julia Smock, who served our district from the inception of this building to its completion. She shared with me the involvement of Peoria Unified students, the design and marketing of the center, and the many meetings with Paul Winslow, the original architect, and artist Robert McCall. Many of such fond memories of this space and the number of students who were impacted by this building is a list that is infinitely long. I am beyond thrilled that through inclusive, diligent, and solutions-oriented conversations, our board was able to preserve this space and the artwork you see surrounding us this morning. I'm also proud that learning and innovation will continue here. I want to thank you for joining us in continuing the mission of preparing every student for academic excellence and a successful future as a responsible citizen who actively contributes to society, the community, and the workforce. I'm looking forward to what's next as we embark upon this new vision. Thank you to the team who worked tirelessly to make this vision a reality, and thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Mr. Sandoval, and thank you again to our entire governing board for your commitment to this project, for your support, and certainly for your collective vision to bring us where we are today. Thank you. Well, at this time, I'd like to invite Monica Yellen, Community Outreach Liaison, and she is here representing Congresswoman Lesko's office to present a proclamation on behalf of the Congresswoman, and she's going to present that to our governing board. So if I could invite the three of you up as well, and we'll make sure that we get that presented to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us today. It is an honor to be here, and Congresswoman Debbie Lesko sends her regards. I would like to recognize this special occasion as we celebrate the grand opening of the Smart Center right here in Peoria. This is such an exciting day for you, your students, and the Peoria community. Please know that I want to work together with you and others to make Arizona even better. To that end, if my office can ever help you navigate federal regulation, work with federal agencies, or if you would like to discuss areas that need improvement, I sincerely hope you will reach out to me or my office. We are here for you, Congresswoman Debbie Lesko.
Thank you so much, Monica, and thank you very much to the Congresswoman as well. Appreciate you being here. Well, there are a few others that we want to take a quick moment to recognize, and really the ones that we owe, I think, a deep debt of gratitude for doing the real work here of bringing this space from what it was to what it is today. There's a number of them who really do shy away from the spotlight, so of course I'm going to try my best to recognize and embarrass them as much as possible this morning, just to really make sure they get the credit that they so deeply deserve. The first is the team here at Sunrise Mountain. Our leadership team, Mr. Vance Sedka, principal, Mr. Clay, as the principal, Mr. Clay Carpenter, Mrs. Christine Gutierrez, and Mrs. Charisse Moore, the assistant principals, for their dedication and commitment to this project. I think they are hiding somewhere in the background, as always, but a big thank you to Sunrise Mountain. We so appreciate their flexibility, all the hard work they put in, and really to be gifted with this building, I think 7 months early, so ahead of schedule. That's worth mentioning as well. So that took an awful lot of flexibility, but of course they made it happen, and so we really do appreciate them greatly. And then to the one really with the vision, who showed up to Mrs. Pallas Thompson and said, you know, I have this idea, for which we were all hugely excited. Most times when he says that, we run. But of course, that is none other than our arts education director who really had the spark and the vision for all of this. That's Mr. Robert Panzer. Our facilities and maintenance team, and they truly are incredible. Our director, Mr. Chris Deeg. And our construction services manager, Mr. Vaughn McLean. Where's Mr. McLean? Thank you. And anyone that's worked with Vaughn knows when he takes on a project, it really becomes like his baby, and he is just paying such careful attention to detail, to every little nook and cranny, and I know he did that with this space as well. So thank you so much, Vaughn, for all your hard work here. I want to also thank the team, the architect team and the construction team that worked on this project as well. I know we have representation here from Orcutt Winslow, Michael Sumberg, and Tim Linko. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank from Sun Valley Builders, Dave Tucker, Jody Clanton, Ken Hart, Mark Tucker, and Larry Bandura and Dave Tucker. Thank you so much. And not only did they work on the space, but they've also provided the refreshments and all of the seating for you today. So thank you so much to that. Certainly, it's our hope that one day we will have a few of those finishing touches that we hope to acquire in order to be able to use this as also a community and flexible space. So I'll note that when you walk through and you take your tour, you will see the beautiful work that has been done inside the building, but you'll also notice that we've been created with our limited resources. So we've repurposed a lot of furniture from other spaces to put it here, taken from some of our surplus areas in order to get it up and running so it could be a space where we could start learning right away. So I wanted to make sure that you had note of that as well. We hope that following our program today that you'll enjoy some of those refreshments and of course mingle, but just a reminder, we will have tours. So we have some student-led tours and we'll take you through this building, show you all the different spaces. So when you're ready to go ahead and embark on a tour, there'll be one leaving from over on this side and one leaving from over on this side. So you can head on over here to be sure to get to see the rest of the space. Well, at this time, it is my true honor to introduce you to a true original. None other than our superintendent, Mrs. Linda Pallas Thompson.
This is very emotional today, so thank you, and if I cry, it's probably just that I'm cold. So, my mentor, actually Tom McKenzie, once told me that everything is connected to everything. In the early 80s, my school district in Illinois nominated me to be the first teacher in space. Hard to believe that I would have been that. My brother, and we minimized everything that we each did. My brother said, "What is that anyway? One little orbit around the Earth?" My son said to me, "Why can't you be a normal mom and just shop around the mall?" Well, luckily, I was not selected. I didn't get past round one. But 34 years ago, as you know, and it was last month, 34 years ago last month, the Challenger space exploded shortly after takeoff, killing all 7 of the astronauts and the members on board, including Krista McAuliffe, the first teacher who was to go into space. Following that final crash, the families of the crew headed by June Scobie Rogers, widow of the Challenger Center Commander Dick Scobie, founded the Challenger Space Center for Space Science. It was an educational building, and it was designed across the country for hands-on exploration and discovery and options for students to sharpen their critical and creative thinking skills. There's no such thing, as Tom would say, everything is connected to everything. On February 23rd, 96, about 6 years after I arrived here, we did ribbon cutting for our own Challenger Center, this beautiful building, in this 25,000 square foot building. June Scobie Rogers was in attendance, as was Krista McAuliffe's mother, I was told this morning, as Julia just said. I was here, many of you were here, and I didn't realize till this morning that my daughter, who was very little at that time, who is here today, Shayna, was one of the first ambassadors that we sent to make sure that the facility was really working. So Shayna, thank you for being here. My late husband, Lee Pallas, who helped write the dedication, Everything's Connected to Everything, in a book we received that, I don't know if you remember this, Julia, it was Silver Linings, and it says, "To Lee, may all of your clouds have silver linings. God bless you and those you love." He was able to write the dedication in those days, and it was pretty extraordinary. Note, there are silver linings. My silver lining is here today. Gary Thompson, thank you for being my silver lining for the last 22 years. Now today, after 24 years later, we have a new dedication. We've discovered another silver lining. We've revitalized this facility. It's amazing. Rob, team, it is amazing. Thank you so much. We're able to serve 200 students. Hopefully some of you will be able to look at this building and then maybe sneak over to the main building and see the other classrooms that we have been able to put in. These are for general education students. This is an arts center. The facility enables partnerships for our community. And if you look at this beautiful atrium, and I'd like you to take a look around. I know you've seen it, but take a look, because it is perfect for space, but it's also magnificent for an art facility. So we're really delighted with that. As you look around, I want you to think of the words that Dr. McCall has said in his book, and it says, "The future is bright and is filled with promise for all of us. The human spirit, driven as it is, with an insatiable desire to know, to explore, and to understand, will continue forever and ever to reach upward and onward." Thank you. Thank all of you for being part of this morning, our past, our present, and our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the always inspiring Mrs. Pallas Thompson. Well, I think we're ready to make it official, right? We're ready to make it official. So representing our past, please welcome up our former superintendent, Dr. Denton Santarelli. He served Peoria Unified School District for more than 30 years. Joining him will be our current superintendent, Mrs. Pallas Thompson, representing our present and leading us into the next chapter starting July 1st, 2020. Please welcome our soon-to-be new superintendent, Dr. Jason Reynolds. We had them practice with this just in case. I mean, there's a lot of great leadership up here, but just in case, we'll invite you around here to the front and we'll have them cut the ribbon. Can we maybe count them down from, do a space count from 10? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Well, we've made it official, and hopefully, if you did not get a chance to sign the ribbon, hopefully you did. If not, we will have it back up front here so you can sign it. We will be keeping that and putting that someplace in this building just to, of course, remember this day. And as the students here just continue on with their learning and continue into the next frontier, we certainly want to remember this day and how we have revitalized this space. So I want to thank you all once again for joining us, to our jazz band, who I know is going to play us out here in just a moment, and all the other students and teachers. We're so excited to come see what you have been working on since you came into the new building here. So we'll be on our way to see you. We'll go ahead and dismiss our students so you can go ahead and head back to your classes. How about we give them a round of applause as we head back to class?
Go up the stairs.
Please help yourself to refreshments before you head out for a tour. And once again, we'll have tours taking off from both of these sections here. Thank you all so much again for being with us today.